Okay, you're back at Blinky's workshop. Here, let me see if I can't get this light a little better. All right. Now, we are trying to get this carburetor apart. And I got the bottom of the accelerator pump off, and and you probably can't see it here how full of junk it is. I took a picture and I'll pop it up right about here with the magic of video editing. Kind of nice, crunchy looking. And then I got one of the screws out of the top, out of this, slide chamber cover. And of course, the very next one, it's seized. I've got a screw that is seized, and I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes I can get these to pop this way, and sometimes I have to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to oil those, and I'm going to let them sit for a little bit. I just need to get a little penetrating oil on it. There we go. Just a little on each one. That one's already out, so I don't need it on there. Right. And then set up a little vibration in there to chase that around those threads. Most people don't actually believe that works, but it does. I don't know if I have a small enough bit on my impact driver. Wow, I sure hope I can get those to break. That's going to take some finagling. I knew this was going to be a pain in the ass. Probably this thing, it's an 85, and it probably has never been opened up. And of course, I mean, most of you guys who work on stuff these days have had problems with adhesion between aluminum and steel. But that little tap, especially if you tap right on the steel, it does help chase that. Help chase that penetrating oil around the threads, and it does help get these things to break loose. Hopefully. Now, come on. All right. I don't know what we're going to do about that. All right. The plunger for the accelerator pump. I don't have any of those parts, do I? No. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's see if I can get the... Okay, that'll take a wrench. And I know I have a little... I should go get my little metric set. I know... did I get it? Yes, of course I did. Ew. That is corroded. You see that? Yeah, if my hands were so fucked up, I'd get my phone out and take another picture of it, but I'm not going to do it now. Look at the crap in there. Can you see that? Well, you see that? That's just what I'm wiping out of there with my finger, man. This is a dirty-ass carburetor. Alright. And I think I can just leave that boot on there. That's not really going to make any difference. Well, we'll see. We'll look at it. There. It's off now. Okay. Now, how am I going to get? Alright, let's see here. That fits in there really nice and tight. There we go, that's one. Damn. Oh, good. You know what, I'm thinking a little penetrating oil there isn't going to hurt anything either. Okay. Now, if that will just work everywhere else it needs to. Shit. Okay, I got all 4 of the float. Man, I'll tell you what, I thought for sure as hell I was going to strip or break one of those. Alrighty. So, let's just open this bitch up and see how much crud is in there. It's been together since 85, so I'm thinking just a tap on the side. Usually these things have a layer of lacquer from being put up and taken out, and but if you pop them on, see there, they'll usually just separate as pretty as you please. There are the floats, and well, you know, that isn't as dirty as it could be. I mean, that's, you know, there's a little bit of in there, but not nearly what could be in there. All right, so we can pull out the pin for this float and just kind of put it to the side. Ah, there it was. I was wondering. Now before we get too far, I want to see how this retainer works. Oh, easy peasy. All right. Impact driver. Now I get to hold a wet carburetor between my knees and beat on it with an impact driver. Here, I don't know if you're going to catch that shot, and it's certainly not a very attractive one, but at least we can see if we can get a picture of me get a shot of me getting these screws out, show you how it's done. Okay, impact driver. I don't know if you, I don't know. God damn it! I don't know which way this one's set to turn. I guess I could just beat it. Shit. People ask me why I have 2 of so many things. It's because it's so crappy. I broke it loose. Well, if I can have that kind of luck. See, can't spend too much money on tools, y'all. I not only needed to have an impact driver, I needed to have 2 of them. Well, I may have gotten that one to work if I decided to putz around with it long enough. I have noticed that whenever I have 2 of something, it seems like the older one is always the better one. This is such a pain in the ass. People who don't do this kind of stuff just do not appreciate. I want to give myself a break and try this other one. I need a little success to buoy my spirits. I am not going to like this shit. The goddamn thing keeps moving. That hurt. Wow. If I wasn't doing this for somebody I love, I wouldn't do this shit. Come on. What about now? I'm on the tray, I'm on the tray. Aim somewhere near it. Finally. You see, this is where most of those people running their mouth on the internet would have given up and taken the thing to the dealership. I guess it's time to open up this bag of parts. And alright. First of all, I want to see how many, okay, one and a half, 2 and a half, and just a tiny bit, like about 20 degrees. Now, with any luck, this will just, was that luck or did something break? Oh, it was luck. Well, isn't that nice? Okay. So we've got the jet holder and the jet separated, and that looks pretty clean. In fact, that looks slick as a whistle. Now I am going to clean all this stuff up. Okay, I'm going to put the jet holder back in there where it goes. 35. Okay. So we are putting the same jets back in that came out. All right. Break time. I'll be back. I've been looking at some of the old parts as opposed to some of the new parts, and the needles are quite a bit different, which means I have to change the seat. This is where I could just completely ruin this carburetor because it's been in there a while. What I need is a long, thin piece of wood that can transmit a pretty good bit of shock, and I do believe it will hit the seat without hitting the carburetor body. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, now I know people are going to tell me this is a leather working tool, but I have used a rawhide hammer for a lot of things in my life, and they have always, wow. I thought that was going to be difficult. That flew out of there. Now, we're going to go scrub up this carburetor. See you in a little bit. Well, this carburetor is nice and clean on the inside now. I didn't put that much energy into scrubbing up the outside of it, to tell you the truth. I don't care what it looks like. I just care how it functions. And so now we'll start putting the carburetor back together. So new what? No. We'll go with the new seat for the needle valve first. So that should go in there, and just the jet holder. Now, that actually seems fine. I'm not going to do anything to that. We are not going to shim this needle valve for now. And this time, we'll put the thing together and be through with it. I don't expect anyone's actually going to watch this. I don't even think the person I'm doing it for is going to watch it. Now, that's all ready. Let's get our floats and our new seat reassembled. Floats and seat installed. You know, I didn't like doing this when my vision was good. Shit. I can't believe I just did that, but I just did that. One more time. I'm not going to worry about tightening this all up until I know I've got it all together. And I don't have any leftover parts that I don't know what they are. Take that piece of steel wool and work on this piece of this accelerator pump, because that is just, look at that shit, man. That is just rusty. Oh, that's much, much, much better. That's like 1,000,000% better. Alright, now, that feels pretty damn good. Alright. I can shim this carburetor if I need to. The old needle valve was shimmed. The new needle valve and assembly is more slender than the other one. And right now, in my experience, has been with rebuild kits, that you're more often right if you start out to not shim. Now we have to turn this all back around. All right. The accelerator pump is functional and actually smooth now. Much better than it was. It should pump a little. It should pump more fuel now, which will definitely aid in taking off and acceleration. Idle speed screw needs to go back in. All right. Now we get the choke assembly put together. All I really need is that, because that's plenty tight enough. All right. Everything's working. All right, we have a rebuilt carburetor here. Yay, rebuilt carburetor. Hey, well, I suppose you could say, damn it, Blinky, that took a long time, man, for that one little old, you know, throttle body type carburetor. Man, come on. Then again, you could say, and this is my choice, damn, Blinky, did you know that that thing hadn't been taken apart since it was put together in 1985, and you got it apart without breaking any screws or cracking anything? And listen, it doesn't always work out that way. Look, hooking another carburetor, just plumbing it up would be easy, but trying to figure out what jets to use and then dialing in a carburetor that wasn't designed to a specific application. Listen, you can do it, and a lot of times you're better off too. But shit, if the shit you have is working fine, leave it the fuck alone. You know, if you like taking your motorcycle apart just for the hell of it, either get a fairly new motorcycle or get one, or do it to one that you're not riding, because man, you're just gonna break shit on an old one. It's just how it is. I don't care who you are. So anyway, this is Blinky here at Blinky's Guitar and Motorcycle Dungeon, saying, be well, y'all. I left out an O-ring. I don't want to take this thing apart many more times, y'all.